Things have been happening. Well, a lot of things have been happening, but sad day. Very sad day. A lot of 80s icons that I grew up with. I remember the first one to go was Malcolm Jamal Warner. I remember watching The Cosby Show a little bit. I saw a few episodes. I liked his character. How you doing, Brain Dead? Unfortunately, he was the first one to go. He died in a swimming accident. I think in the Caribbean he did. Hello, Domino. The second domino to fall was the iconic Ozzy Osbourne. I listened to some of his music back in the day. But a childhood hero I grew up watching with my father. Love him or hate him, Hulk Hogan has passed away. Very funny, Galaxy. Don't speak ill of the dead, Galaxy. The point is that yeah, these were iconic. Well, sometimes I just wanted to make this stream. I posted a meme about it. In America, we have some, I guess, people I think that maybe weren't always that perfect, but they were 80s icons of my era. You know what I mean? Well, not my era, but the era I grew up in, I remember them growing up. I remember The Cosby Show. I remember Malcolm's character. No, Hulk Hogan, the wrestler, Brain Dead. The wrestler Hulk Hogan has passed away tragically. And, he was say your prayers, take your vitamins, even though he didn't always live that philosophy and train, Well, I do say my prayers. I don't, but it's very sad to see Hulk Hogan go, He was the last. I'll tell you this. He was the last of the 80s wrestlers, just about. Every other major 80s wrestler from that era is dead. Just about all of them. There's not many left, to be honest with you. From the 80s era, the wrestlers from the 80s era are all dead. Characters that I grew up watching, like, Rowdy Roddy Piper, all of them, all of those iconic characters, iconic people that I used to watch with my father, they're all gone. I used to say that Hulk Hogan was the only one left. But I guess he's not even left anymore. Yeah. And I would say this. I'll put Malcolm Jamal Warner in that list. He was he's a very good actor, He's done a lot of great things, and everyone knows him as the son of I think it was Cliff Huxtable, was he? I don't remember. I'm not doing this, Domina. I'm not even going there. We're talking about grieving of passing of an heir. It seems that all the icons from that era are just about gone. You know. Now David Hasselhoff is still around, but how many? I don't think he's got too long. You know what I mean? So a lot of the icons from that era are gonna go away. You know, a lot of the ones that we looked up to. I mean, if you grew up in the '80s, Hulk Hogan, Ozzy Osbourne, The Cosby Show. Come on now. We all knew those things. Don't tell me you didn't know them. Thank you, Judd. Yeah, he was only in his 50s when he passed. Yeah. Malcolm Jamal Warner, he basically drowned swimming, I think, in the Caribbean on vacation with his family. I know. Yes, we all loved Hulk Hogan. Just remember, if you grew up in the 80s, this should be very personal to you. You know, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, these were iconic characters. Iconic, you know. Well, we're talking about the passing of some great 80s icons. Rocky. Oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. Yes, he is. Look, man, we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Okay? Think about, you know, when you watch the guy. When you saw him. Ozzy, he's down. You know? You have to understand. Things are not always cut and dry. At the same time, you know, we have to really look at what these people represented. Maybe they didn't live up to their ideas, but the idea is still good. The idea is still valid, you know. A classic song. Yes, thumbs up, people. Thumbs up. Look, I just wanted to do this stream to pay my respects to some fallen heroes, I would say, some fallen people that were iconic in their own right. They were popular in the 80s. We all know. But yeah, let's all take a moment of silence to mourn some 80s icons. Yes. Yeah. Okay, well, I can't play music. I would love to play some Ozzy Osbourne and I'm a real true American. But I can't play that on the live streams, as you know. Copyright. But we all gonna miss them. You know, I wrote the title of Who's Gonna Fill Their Shoes because there's no one that's filling the shoes of these icons. Nobody. There's not going to be a future Ozzy. There's not going to be a future Hulk Hogan. That era is over. Anyway. That's so true, Mojo. So true. Yes. Well. And it makes you think, what is your legacy? What are you leaving behind when you go? Part of me wants to be forgotten. I don't know why. I'd rather not be remembered in the long run. Well, yeah. It's sad, but maybe it's better to be forgotten. I don't know. Who knows? And I know. But we lost some icons here. Okay. Okay. Well, this is what the stream is about. There's not much I can say on the tragic passing. Look, we're all flawed people. We make mistakes. But believe unto him, Jesus Christ, and you will be saved. Thank you. Oh man, every day is a gift. All right. Enough said, I guess. This was going to be a short stream. God bless you. All glory goes to God, and pray for the souls of those very famous people. Not a lot of famous people go to heaven. Let's be honest about that. Not too many.